Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Joe Smith. This is Paddock Live, which means you lot, yes you, need to get involved in the chat and the comments. We're going to be talking about him.
Festival.
Sabitzer.
No, Goretzka.
That's the one. We're talking about Goretzka.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Phil Jones, remember him? Anthony Martial. We're going to talk about him. Christian Eriksen.
2016.
Yeah, we're going to
all
be
of
talking
these
about
players peaked then.
all your old favourites, plus some other stories as well. So make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Come on, we want to get to 800,000 subscribers. But most of all, get involved in the comments because we want to hear your opinion on these juicy stories doing the rounds for Manchester United. First things first, though, which is always the best way to move forward.
Yeah.
Some results are in. City drawing at home. Pathetic.
0-0.
0-0.
Yep. Inter Milan.
Absolute fraud, that Pep Guardiola fella.
Inter Milan?
Yeah.
No, I'm more of a Juve fan.
Nice.
Thank you.
Done that. Did you make that up? I've never heard that one before.
Have you not?
No, it's really good.
Yeah, I haven't just made it up.
Smash that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AC Milan? No, I missed him.
Yeah, if you want. Right, so City drawing. We were watching a little bit of Coventry Spurs, weren't we?
Coventry looked great, and then we came down here to get ready. All of a sudden, Spurs have won.
Coventry, man.
But you know what? That's not a bad thing.
Why? Go on, talk
Because we don't want Tottenham in full meltdown mode just yet. Not until we beat them in a couple of weeks. Because if they're losing every single week, they're not just going to lose every week and then Ange gets sacked. They're going to have little bits and bobs, ups and downs. We want to cement them in being in bad form. We don't want the wheels to fall off just yet, because then they'll have a little final flurry.
I think that Spurs game is no excuse central.
Yeah, we need to win.
That's the game. Do you remember, like in the past where you've had a game, like do you remember when it was Jose came back to Old Trafford with Spurs and Ollie was under pressure?
Yeah.
Like, if Jose comes back here with Spurs and beats him, he could be sacked, and he won.
Yeah.
And then we had like the FA Cup semi-final. It was like, we need to get to the final here. We can't be letting Spurs. And then they went ahead. Was it Dele Alli? And then we won.
Yeah.
Like Spurs is historically the game where it's Tottenham for a reason. So. Yeah, I don't think there's any excuses, but we're not here to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. We're here to talk about Manchester United.
Yep.
Leon Goretzka.
Let's start with this then, because this is what we're talking about. Here we go. Bayern Munich players now. Bayern Munich.
So it's like a market stall trader.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? So it's like Bayern Munich players now.
I'm going to say, you say, is that what it is? Speaking to producer Ethan, who made this thumbnail and made the point, and I'll do what he did.
Yeah. So is it like a market stall trader saying it?
Like I don't know. You tell me. It's all yours, big boy.
Do you know what?
You tell us.
When you ask your producer a question, him to go, not even to go, or even a.
He was like.
He just went.
He was like rubbing his hands together.
Me looking after me kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to your mum. No. So how do you say it? You say it and I'll repeat it the way you say it.
Just for clarification, sorry, take a step back, Jay. Just take a small step back.
Right.
For anyone who's wondering what this is.
What is it?
This here.
Oh.
That's Jay's belt. His knob hasn't come through his fly.
I wish.
In case anyone was wondering.
I wonder what you're doing then.
No, because they just sort of...
That is my belt.
Yeah, that's Jay's belt, that.
So look, I'm going to tuck it in.
Tuck it in like it should have been all
and
along.
I'll zip myself up as well and put my knob away.
Good. Good lad. So Bayern Munich...
No, I want him to tell me how to say it.
Yeah, how do we say it?
How do you say it? Just in a Cockney accent. No, but you say it in a Geordie accent and I'll repeat in a Cockney accent. Yeah, go on.
So Bayern Munich players now.
Bayern Munich players now.
That's all right, yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, it's in the Evening Standard as well, which is the ultimate Cockney accent thing to sell. So, yeah, it kind of works. United reportedly on alert, your favourite phrase, over Leon Goretzka after Bayern Munich chief Max Eberl admitted the midfielder is upset. Goretzka has been largely frozen out under new Bayern boss. This is absolutely chock-a-block with fucking tabloid platitudes, isn't it? This is unbelievable already. He's been frozen out. He's upset. We're on alert. Let's see what else we can get in there. Making just one appearance as a late sub so far this season, Bayern Munich Director of Sport Erbel said, we've communicated very clearly from the start. Leon knew that we were relying on Pavlo and that he would bring in, and that we would bring in with Polinia and that Josh would play more in the centre again. We've also said that when Leon is there and ready to face the situation, he'll be treated completely normally. Leon's a great guy. I like him a lot, even though he's obviously upset at the moment and shit and we don't want to play him. I understand that too, but that's part of life in football. Wow. So he's been ostracised, hasn't he? In a sense.
Like, yeah.
Just a bit.
I mean, this is all a bit crackers, isn't it? This
He's
story?
very Bayern Munich as well for the. What's his job?
Max, just chief, Max Earl.
The chief to be coming out and talking about like who's going to play and who isn't. Yeah. Whereas in England or at United maybe, I think generally in England, it would just be the manager who answers those questions. Whereas in Bayern Munich, there's always Oliver Kahn and Hans Rummenigge and like there's always someone sticking their nose in there.
I love the fact that like this was like so dramatic. Like after Bayern chief Max Earl admitted the midfielder is upset. It was like such an anticlimax. He's a little bit upset.
Bit on the upsetty side, I'm afraid.
He's a bit poorly.
Have you seen the pictures of him pre and post
COVID?
No. Well, yeah, time-wise. Right. But in 2020, he was absolutely Jack City Central. Right. Full head of hair, just beefed out his mind, the biggest biceps, chest out the door, all sorts. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then now he looks like producer Ethan.
Really? But he's gone shorter?
He's shorter. He's less muscular. Ethan isn't receding, but his hair's going. Right. Everyone's on about him maybe coming off the
juice.
Potential. But we don't know, obviously. But he has sort of lost all reputation,
hasn't
he?
Doesn't the juice make you lose hair, though?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So he got on it, and then it started losing his hair, so then he had to come off it.
Right.
But again, it's probably not true, but that's what people were saying. He seems to have lost some of his bulk, as it were.
Right, okay.
But he's almost become the German Scott McTominay at this point.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Nothing about this story is selling it to me as a potential transfer. I mean, he's a decent player, Goretzka. We all know that, but Bayern Munich's a weird club, in it, with players. Yeah. Like the whole De Ligt situation. Was it Sabitzer a couple of years ago when it was like people were telling us, German football experts, like, look, he's a good player. Like, don't let what's going on at Bayern confuse you. It's just messy there. And now you've got to hear the same thing was happening with De Ligt. Yeah. People were saying like, look, don't be put off by the fact he's not getting in the Bayern team. Or that was slight exaggeration. He's not always guaranteed to start in the Bayern team. Yeah. He did play a lot. Like, that is a very good player. So I don't know with Goretzka. I haven't seen a lot of him, but I wouldn't be put off by the fact that he's not a guaranteed starter in this team, because there's always something going on. Like you say, there's always a chief executive or a director of football or a chairman or a president getting involved. There's always some sort of politics involved in it, and there's always like a flavour of the month there where this player has to start and this one can't get dropped, and it's all a bit odd. So I don't know a lot about him. You know more about him than I do. Would you have him at Old Trafford?
I don't think so these days. I think he's getting on a bit age-wise, and I don't mean that he's old, but he's sort of, what is he, 27, 28? No, he's sort of moving out of the profile of players that we typically are going for the next year or so while we're rebuilding the squad. How old is he?
29.
Yeah, so he's 29 now even, and he's a decent
he's 30
player.
In February as well. So
so you'd be buying a 30-year-old next summer. He's a decent player. He's older than United want to be signing. He's not that good. He's not guaranteed to start. To me, it's just, to be honest, reading the article, I don't even know how he's been linked with United.
To be fair, the link is so loose. United are reportedly on alert.
What does that mean?
That's
alert for what?
We've had a text.
Yeah.
Goretzka's upset. Sound.
Yeah, I've just installed the Goretzka alarm in the house next to the carbon monoxide detector. It's on alert.
That's the shittest way of being involved in a transfer. Yeah, that's not even monitoring.
No, because monitoring is actively watching.
Yeah.
On alert is we're doing other things.
Yeah.
But if something happens, I'll get a text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll get an email. Actually, email me if something happens.
Get involved.
Isn't anything, is it?
No, it's nothing. Let's see what the chat are saying. His contract must be up, says Brian Casey. Heaven Soul says summer. I thought it was a January signing. Nah, sack that off. Dominica S says we are not getting rid of Casemiro to replace him with the 30-year-old. Wayne Davies says he's 29 until he's 30. That is a great point. Make sure you are hitting that like button. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this deal. No, I don't think it'll happen anyway, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Go on, what else
Martin
have you got for me?
Baturina.
Yes.
Dynamite battering ram.
What? Why is it a dynamite battering ram?
Why is the word dynamite in there?
I get the battering ram, but why dynamite battering ram?
Because he plays for Dynamo.
Okay.
It's not bad actually.
Dynamite battering ram.
Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the problem is, and we have this problem a lot with some of the puns. Sorry, Ethan, to sort of break it down.
Yeah.
No one would say Dynamo Baturina. just because he plays for them. Like, you wouldn't say Manchester Rashford, would you? Or Arsenal Odegaard. So Dynamo Baturina as a starting point to then turn into Dynamite Battering Ram is a nonsense, isn't it?
I don't have to do this anymore.
No, Ethan, no, don't do that. Ethan said I don't have to do this anymore. Oh, Ethan, I'm sorry. I like it. I think if you get rid of that, Battering Ram is a very good pun, and that works. I just think that the addition of Dynamo to Dynamite, unless the phrase, that's a Dynamite Battering Ram you've got there, mate. If that was a phrase we all used all the time, great.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but...
You're just shitting yourself now because you had to go at you.
No. Oh, wait, actually, I get it. No.
Ethan, where do it yourself next time, and now you're panicking, now you love it now.
No,
because you realise you can't be bothered to do puns every week.
I didn't see...
So you'd rather not upset him.
I didn't see parts of it before.
Right.
Dynamite Battering Ram.
I like it, Ethan.
No, I really like it.
I think you're doing a good job.
No, because I've reread it now.
Yeah, it's just Joe's too thick to understand.
And actually, it's probably the best one you've ever done.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and actually, pay rise for you, just because of this. There we go. Manchester United have... Oh, here's another good one, Jay! We've just had... What's the other one? On alert. Here we go. Manchester United have positioned themselves to make a move for Martin Baturina. One sec, what are you doing? Just fucking...
Position... Alright.
One sec, mate. Don't ask me any questions. I'm just positioning myself. Just to fucking make a move if I have to. They position themselves. The 21-year-old has assisted 5 goals in just 8 appearances this season. Patrick Berger reported that at Sky Sports Germany, the attacking midfielder is on the radar of several top clubs, but decided against a move in the summer despite offers from Atletico, Rome and Florence, among others, not United. The playmaker, whose contract does not contain an exit clause, could take his next step in the summer. Bloody hell, this is 10 months away. Man United and Real Madrid have positioned themselves, not in any particular way, but they've just positioned themselves.
What does that mean?
This is like when, do you know when there's like a conflict in a certain part of the world?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden America have got bases in all the neighbouring countries?
Yeah, yeah.
This is what we've
Troops
done.
amassing at the border.
We've got troops stationed. According to the Sky Infos, I just read that as Ineos because I'm so used to reading Ineos. According to Sky Infos, even legend Luka Modric is suggesting that his club should sign the Croatian jewel.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that, can you? I mean...
You can't.
Hey, what?
The Croatian jewel.
Hey, I think we should sign the Croatian jewel. Yeah, I mean, it all seems a bit wishy-washy, this. Manchester United have positioned themselves to make a move. That's completely meaningless, for starters. That doesn't mean anything whatsoever. Well, we were going to make a move, but we didn't position ourselves.
Yeah,
so now
we're trying to make a move from a standing start. It's like when a goalie gets wrong-footed.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want is to be on the way it was on the other foot.
If only we'd positioned ourselves to make a move for Martin Baturina. And we left it too late. Yeah, I don't know a lot about this kid. 21 years old, obviously highly regarded, but we'll see. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If it happens, this will be the first sort of inkling of it, where we look back and go, actually, that was something.
Remember
there.
the day.
But I know that Patrick Berger, who's been has been on this channel several times, knows his stuff. You know, he's a reliable guy, but at the moment, there's nothing there that makes me feel like Manchester United are remotely close to even putting a bid in for this kid. I know we can't buy him now, but when he is available and when we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, as well, you've got to be mindful when you see, like, players from that country waxing lyrical about a youngster from that country. Yeah. Because Luka Modric ain't going to, when he's asked about him, go and say, oh, nice shit.
No. Because he might be playing in the national team with him next week.
Yeah. You know what about him? He's terrible. Yeah. He's going to say he's mint. And no doubt he is. But you can't rely on Luka Modric to be objective when it comes to one of his countrymen. So we'll see what happens. One to keep an eye on. But yeah, I won't lose any sleep if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, same. What people saying?
Jim Max says, has Joe been on the juice? No, he's like this every day.
Juice.
Nomad Joe says, please don't quit, Ethan. Wayne Davies says, I don't know if I can read this out.
Let's have a look, I'll tell you. Oof, bloody hell. I think
bit close to the bone, that, innit?
I don't even know what it's referencing.
I think it means what sort of pun is that?
I don't know. I don't like
That's just rude.
It's rude, that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Honestly.
Wayne,
Filth.
Jesus.
We love United, we do, says what's his face. We agree. Right, let's...
This episode of this show almost feels like it's been written by AI or something. The whole thing feels completely surreal. I don't know what's going on. This whole thing, this footballer doesn't exist. In fact, just move your arms there. I'm certain this guy isn't even real. He doesn't exist. All of the text on this feels like it was written by ChatGPT. The last one didn't feel right either. Goretzka's upset. That's not a phrase. This is all wrong. And we just got comments saying, what's his face? What?
We love United, we do.
What did we love United, we do? Which is also such an AI-generated Man United fan name on YouTube, which is fair enough, but none of this is striking with reality at the minute. Yeah. What did he say?
What's his face?
Is that what he said?
No, that was his name. What's his face is his name, and he said, we love United, we do. Which I think is a great comment.
Again, can be interchangeable, name and
it's
comment.
Like, I don't know what is going on.
Right, let's move on to the next story then, because this is messing with my whole face. Christian Eriksen, what we got? Old Trafford is Christian's church. It's simple, it's basic. It sort of hits all of the markers of a D+ at GCSE, doesn't it? What do you make?
It feels very much like, Daily Telegraph pun.
Yeah, but that's kind of what we're getting at though, isn't it?
It's like Old Trafford is Christian's church.
And it's quite good because the pun actually works because it's him saying that he likes being here.
Yeah.
So actually, I think that's the best one of the night.
Yeah, it's nice.
Even if a little safe.
It's a little Lib Dem, but
it's a little bit Lib Dem.
We can live with that. Do you know what I mean?
Ed Davey falling off a
skydiving fucking thing with a bowl of custard on his head or something. He's just crazy. He's mental, isn't he? Like, I turned on the telly the other day and it was like, it's the Lib Dem party conference. Here's Ed Davey jet skiing into the fucking arena. Yeah. Like, what?
Ed Davey's coming out the back of an animatronic rhino like Ace Ventura.
Yeah, and then they asked him about it. They went, are you going to be doing anything crazy? And he acted like it was out of his control. Yeah. And he's like, I hope not. And you don't know though, do you? Yeah. Well, yeah, you do. Yeah. Just stop doing it.
You're an adult who gets to choose.
You don't have to do these things, but, it's fair enough.
Christian Eriksen says he never considered leaving Manchester United this summer. Never even considered it. Couldn't even imagine what it would be if he'd left. He hasn't got the capacity to even bring his head into a world where he doesn't play for Man United anymore.
I'm so glad he didn't.
That's what I call a one-track mind. Also, that picture of Christian Eriksen looks a bit AI generated, doesn't it?
What do you reckon?
Doesn't quite look like him.
He looks young.
These necklines and all that. I don't know. Something's not right. His eyes are too big. Isn't he? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
United turned down an offer from Real Betis to take him on loan on transfer deadline.
It looks a bit like you, though.
Fuck off.
I don't know why you're getting all fucking high and mighty. Do you know what I mean? Why he's so much better than Christian
Let's be honest,
Eriksen.
I'm no Leon Goretzka.
Exactly. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'm not even a Martin Baturina.
Neither's he.
No, that's true, because he doesn't exist. Eriksen insists he's settled at United and would only have left if the club had wanted him to go. Eriksen, so he did consider leaving. He not only did he consider leaving, he's laid out his exact path to leaving.
If you want to sell me, I'll go.
Yeah, but you said you never considered leaving. Well, I mean, obviously I've considered the idea that you'd want me to leave, and if you did want me to leave, I would leave. So you have considered it then. You've literally fucking laid out an entire framework by which you could leave.
I mean, this is pretty much every player that's ever left United has had the exact same approach. Yeah. I'll leave if you want me to go.
Do you want me to go? No.
Right, I'll stay then. Yeah.
I feel very good at being at United. Is it what he says? Is it what he says? I can't. I'm sweating so
I feel very good. Oh, right. But I thought you said I feel very good at being at United.
Right. Let's everyone calm down. I feel very good being at United. If they told me to leave, I would leave. But I didn't hear that. I'm also a guy who likes being in a place where
standing in front of a club asking them to love him.
No. I'm also a guy who likes being in a place where my family is settled and at the same time being in a place where I can benefit and play. That's always going to be my aim. There's 1 year left, so my focus is going to be on this year, going full out and seeing what happens afterwards.
All reasonable. Very much feels like, a sort of post-match type interview. Asked a few bits about whether he was going to leave. Plays it all middle of the road. Yeah. I wanted to stay, but if they'd have asked me to go, I'd have gone. But they didn't, so I stayed. it's neither here nor there, is it? I like Eriksen, decent player. Can you rely on him to play week in, week out in the Premier League? No. Can you rely on him to come in for the Carabao Cup, the Europa, and even some Premier League games, as we've seen this past 7 days?
Brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's been very good in both of those games as well. Not just a passenger that pops a pass occasionally. He was pretty much flawless in certainly the Barnsley game, and very good in the Southampton game. So, if this is the thing, if we have the luxury of using players the way they should be played, not Johnny Evans playing more minutes than any of our other centre-backs, not Eriksen, having to play 15, 20 games from the start in the Premier League. If we can play him where he should be played and it gives other people a rest, Mainu didn't play a minute the other day. That's perfect. He didn't need to, he needed a rest. And Eriksen got, set up 2 goals and scored 2 goals. Fucking brilliant. This is he's a great squad player, and that's what squad players should do.
It's mad, isn't it? Because when you watch him for Denmark, against top midfielders, he does look still like he's got it.
Yeah, because he's their talisman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you're right, he is their talisman. He's the one that makes them tick. And you look at him and you go, okay, he's up against, a strong midfielder, and he does well.
Yeah.
So you think, why can't he still do it in the Premier League? I think he can. I just think he's not a certain type of player. If you're asking him to play like in a double pivot or whatever, sometimes if it's a strong midfield of like a powerful midfielder, he can get overrun a little bit. But if you're asking him to try and pick out passes and maybe help with the tempo of the game, he is that guy. And some of his passing is ridiculous. And it was good to see him getting on the score sheet. I know it's only Barnsley. Reminded me very much of what he used to do at Spurs last night. Yeah. Again, we know the opposition, but a bit further forward, getting on the end of things, and, deserve these goals as well.
The other thing with him as well is, he's not that old. The problem with him is, obviously, he's a bit leggy and he's not very quick. And obviously, and I don't know what's happened with his heart, and are there any lasting impact of that in terms of his cardio and his output and his mentality around it?
I think that affects the perception of him.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. He's only 32, and he shouldn't be like finished. He's a player that was always known for his work rate.
Yeah.
He was a cardio machine, like Bruno Fernandes style, maybe not quite to the same level, but at Tottenham he was up and down constantly, playing that sort of number 8, number 10 hybrid, getting goals, getting assists, but he was known for his work rate. So he's not someone that's like a sort of lazy, sloppy player who ain't got an engine on him. I think we can maybe rely on him, not, like you said, against big, young, powerful, athletic midfields, he'll struggle. But if we're going to be holding most of the ball, pop him next to Ugarte and or Casemiro, I think you've got a decent midfield there for, probably 20 appearances this season.
Yeah, it was good to see him sort of still playing his part this season. Make sure you are hitting like, and if you're not subscribing to the channel, then make sure you're subscribing too. Let's get in a couple of comments.
Yes.
Amir Fakri says Ugarte is a fighter. Lucas Dean says Eriksen is Juan Mata. BMW Racing 1974 says intelligent player. Wayne Davis says he's Fletch 2.0. Alex Mooney says he looks bigger and fitter this year.
Me or Eriksen?
Both. Go on, what have you got for us next?
Should we move on to our next story? This is a bit of a sad one almost as well. Here we go. Parthenon, my French.
I think that's very good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes sense on many levels.
Where did this come from?
Huh?
Where did this come from?
Well, let me just explain why it's so good. Parthenon, my French is like pardon my French.
I understand it.
And for anyone at home. And he's French. So you've Parthenoned my French. So you've sort of hit, and he's just gone to AEK Athens, which is obviously where the Parthenon resides.
Yeah.
I came up with that one, Jay.
Did you?
Yeah.
In that case, I don't like it, it's shit. No, very good. Very intelligent, very clever. Do you know what I mean? The way you've combined the French and the Greek and the Parthenon.
Into a succinct, concurrent...
like, pardon me French, Parthenon me French.
And you've also sort of Parthenoned his French, if you can sort of
really
verbify it.
Yeah.
He's been sort of Parthenoned, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
In a sense.
And
he's our French.
And he's, French and that. Yeah, and the Greek. Yeah, good stuff.
Brilliant. Anthony Martial has signed for Greek side AEK Athens, if that wasn't clear already. The Athens club posted an image of Martial on social media this morning with the caption, "The Wizard is coming."
Have you not heard of Sevilla?
Have you ever read Lord of the Rings?
No.
Well, that's a quote from Gandalf.
Right. Is that the bloke that Ian McKellen played?
Yep.
Right.
But he has a bit of an affair at one point in the books. They don't mention this in the film, but let's just say.
What, he cheats on his missus and that? No. Okay. Well, the Hobbit? Really?
Yep.
Mate, no wonder they kept that bit out of the film.
Yep.
I think they need to take a page out of Sevilla's book. Sevilla pulled out all the stops on social media, like they just signed prime Lionel Messi, and he was a disaster. I think just give it low-key, introduction, yeah, he's here, signed, all that good stuff, but don't go too OTT with it. It doesn't end well.
No, and it's a weird one because, not to stick with the wizard thing, that's never been his nickname. As far as I'm aware, have you ever heard him could be called that? The Wizard? That's never been his nickname, has it?
No. That it's completely irrelevant to anything to do with Andy Martial whatsoever.
Why have they said that?
I think they've done like, now and again, Eve, right, he's very good at puns, we'll have a random one where he'll just do something that's got nothing to do with anything whatsoever, but he just wanted to get it in the sentence. And I think they've just done that.
The Wizard is coming?
Yeah. They may as well have just put, the serpent is here.
Yeah.
Like,
Serpent strikes twice on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of, that doesn't mean anything, does it?
No, it's completely and utterly meaningless and irrelevant to Andy Martial. You've been watching Martial for the last, 9 years. Have you ever, in all those times, all those years, all those goals he scored, all the newspaper reports about him, all the commentators' comments about him, ever heard anyone refer to him as the Wizard?
Anthony Martial?
Yes.
No.
Neither have I. So,
And he ain't even got a wand of a left foot.
No.
He's right-footed.
Someone's just doesn't know who he is. He's been asked to do someone on the socials, and they've gone, Martial's coming, so do a tweet.
Oh, Martial.
Who? Martial, Anthony Martial.
You know who he is? Oh, yeah, sorry.
I love Martial.
Oh, I'm just going to have a look on my phone. No, don't Google it. Just
quick.
do the tweet now, quick.
Oh, you mean Martial?
And use his nickname.
The Wizard.
Pardon? Just write it. I don't care what you said. You've obviously got it right. Just write it.
The Wizard is coming. Like, what? All right, fair enough. Go on, read the rest of it.
Well, it don't really matter because he's getting 2.5 million a season, amounting to 7.5 including bonuses.
Right.
For who? Him? He gets them because we ain't getting shit, are we?
Yeah, no, he's.
So they might pay him £7.5 million. That's a lot, that. Obviously, that's probably if he scores every week or whatever. Fair play to him. I'm glad he's got a club. I don't mean to be insulting to AEK Athens, but I don't know, what does this say about everyone involved? What does it say about United? What does it say about him? It's a sad state of affairs that he's gone from, golden boy to AEK Athens, isn't it? With no clubs in between.
You said it though, Joe. He's had basically 3 seasons almost off.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he's not last season, or is it 2 seasons? Sorry, no, it is 3. Yeah. Like, that low move to Sevilla was a disaster.
That season should have been his last year.
That was just a horrible low move. Nothing good came from it whatsoever. I think after the first 45 minutes he was there, Lopetegui, the manager at the time, criticised him publicly for his performance.
Like 2 games in.
Yeah, they were in a title race that dropped off almost as soon as he arrived. I don't think he scored in La Liga that season for him, and he got 1 goal in the Europa, which I think was like part of a 4-1 win or whatever. So it was just a horrible, horrible low move. Came back to United. It looked like Eriksen quite fancied him. Did all right in pre-season, then got injured, and at one point his saving grace was his goals per 90 minutes ratio was quite good. But then that FA Cup final, the Fulham game before that at Old Trafford, he gets injured in the post-match warm down, which is just, I didn't even know was a thing. So he misses the FA Cup final when he probably would have played, because obviously Weghorst's played. Then you go back to last season, and he just doesn't do anything whatsoever. I think, was it a goal against someone, I want to say?
I don't know.
I can't even remember. Was it? I don't know. Did he score against Everton? He usually scores against them. I can't remember. I think he got 1 goal. Was it maybe last season? I can't remember.
It's just sad.
It is sad because I was there for his debuts, and most of us were against Liverpool. The goal. You think about the goal against Everton in the FA Cup semi-final. You think about the hat-trick against Sheffield United. You think about 23 goals under Ole. You think about the goal against Manchester City. A few goals against Manchester City. There was signs and hope that Anthony Martial would be that guy. And also, when you look at his highlights reel, when you look at the nature of some of those goals, when you look at the one we were looking at the other day against Van Dijk at Southampton, where he dropped him on his arse, he was a joy to watch. And especially when he was 21, 22, you're thinking, fucking hell, this guy's going to be mint. Yet by the time he was 26, he was done. Yeah. He was, and it is sad, and I wish him well, and I think he'll go down as, on the whole, just flattered to deceive a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like a disaster,
no.
but not anywhere near the levels we hoped.
No, not even close.
You know what I mean?
It's a shame. And he's a relatively likeable person as well. I know he's got that kind of slightly sulky style about him, but in a way that's quite endearing at times. When he's scoring and he's got his sort of, he doesn't smile and he sort of scooches along a little bit, I quite like that.
Yeah.
When he's not playing well, it's frustrating and you just think, fucking try harder.
Yeah.
But he's got something unique about him, and like you said, he was an exciting point in a otherwise couple of years that didn't have a lot of excitement in him when he first signed. So fair play to him.
There's a parallel universe where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the manager of Manchester United, and Greenwood, Rashford and Martial score 100 goals.
Yeah.
And at one point, that's what I thought was going to happen, and then for obviously different reasons, none of it did. So,
although Rashford got his 30, didn't he, in a season? So he held up his end of the bargain, pretty much. Just needed them two to get the other, so don't know. Oh well, didn't happen. Should we move on to our final talking point of the night? This is a good one, actually. Phil Jones. Jones has stones. You've spotted it. You've clocked it. Phil Jones has got John Stones in his pocket there.
Right, okay.
What do you make of that?
Well, I don't know the context.
Jones has got stones as in bollocks.
Oh, right, okay. So it's nothing to do with John Stones?
No.
Right, so ignore that then.
Don't ignore it. Love
right.
it.
Love it, but it's irrelevant to anything we're talking about.
Don't ignore it, but don't pay any attention to it.
Right, okay. So, the John Stones thing, just so we're clear.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. Hasn't got anything to do with this.
This?
Yeah.
No.
Right, okay.
Not this story.
Right, sound.
But it's the same word as stones.
So, because it's the same word as Stones, you put a picture of John
I
Stones.
haven't.
Well, you collectively, yeah. Sorry? He's better than Stones. He's got him in his pocket. Yeah. Okay.
Should we get into it?
Is there something going on down there? Is it carbon monoxide poisoning or something? Because everyone seems to have lost their fucking mind.
I tell you what, genuinely.
Like, what is going on?
Do you know through the back room through there?
Yeah.
There is that. Do you know that like intermittent?
Yeah.
When there's, I'm not sure if the battery's going or if there is carbon monoxide.
Like something
leak.
is in the fucking air here.
Yeah.
Because we've gone collectively insane.
That's a good point.
To the
actually.
point of this.
Yeah.
Which
this
isn't
is
even
all,
the most strange thing we've had all night.
Yeah, no. At least we can hold terra firma on these lovely asbestos walls, AJ.
More
asbestos. At least we know we're safe there. Phil Jones has proudly defended his time at Manchester United in response to criticism of his career. I like this. Phil Jones told the High Performance podcast, someone to me, sorry, it's the monoxide. Someone said to me, oh, it's a shame about your career, Phil, but it's lovely to meet you. I said, you what? What do you mean, mate? I've been at United, sorry, I won't do it the same. I've been at United for 10 years, won the Premier League, played over 200 games for United, played in 2 World Cups, won the Europa League and the FA Cup. You're trying to turn around to me and say, shame about your career. Like, no, mate, it doesn't work like that. Of course he would like to have played more, but I've lived the dream. 99% of people would snap their right hand off and... 99% of people would snap their right hand off now for their kids to come through and have a career ahead. At that point, the man had left and I was shouting into the wind.
Yeah.
But he's true. He's right.
Oh my God. Fucking hell. Quick, someone get that carbon monoxide
Can I have a cold compress?
Turned off.
Can I just have some cold water?
Do you know what, right? I agree with Phil Jones. I went on Radio Manchester once and we was asked about Phil Jones. This was just before he left Manchester United. And I was like, you know, it's a shame with the injuries and all that, but it's that. And then a City fan piped up and was like laying into him. And I was like, hang on a minute, mate. Let's just get one thing straight. Like, Phil Jones has won as many European trophies as Manchester City Football Club have in the last 50 years. Secondly, all these pundits are having a dig at him. He's got more England caps than most of them. So when you hear someone like Chris Sutton or Jermaine Jenas or whoever, well, Phil Jones has got more caps than them two put together. Also, he's won as many Premier Leagues as Liverpool have. So it's not like he's a complete disaster.
No, he's not.
There was a reason we bought him. He was being touted as the next John Terry without the racism many years ago. So we bought him in. He did a decent job for a few years. Injuries caught up with him. There was talk that he had mental health problems. And we always go, oh, mental health, you've got to be kind about that. Yeah, when it's a United player, like, fuck him. Do you know what I mean? No one cares anymore. He's shit. Let's just lay into him. So he's every right to stick up for himself. And yeah, shame about your career. He had a very good career. Admittedly, by the time he was 28, 29, when he should have been in his peak years, it was probably worse than it had been for the last decade.
Yeah.
But he's still got a lot to shout about, and I wish him well. I hear he's coaching and stuff, helping out the coaching side of things at Manchester United. And listen, Phil Jones became a little bit of figure of fun, and we've all been guilty of it. There was times when, you know, became almost like a little bit of a meme. But he played a lot of games for Manchester United, won some trophies at Manchester United, and won a lot of football matches for Manchester United. So I think it's good to hear him sticking up for himself, because I want him to go, oh, yeah, you're right, it was all shit.
No, it wasn't.
Let's not pretend he was, you know, the best defender we've ever had. Yeah. And I think Fergie lost the plot when he said he was going to be one of our best players. But he was a decent player, a very good one when he was like 18, 19, helped Blackburn stay up and then got his big money moved to Manchester United and got 2 World Cups and winning all trophies he won. It's not too shabby, especially in the United team, who for the last 10 years have been underperforming.
Yeah, completely agree. And it's good that, like you said, he's got that attitude on it of, actually, fuck off, I've had a good career. I've won a Premier League, which is more than 99.9% of professional footballers, let alone, people. So, yeah, fair enough, maybe he didn't quite do the things we hoped he would do at one point, but he's certainly done more than most, and I think it's good that he sees it that way. And again, like I said, more than 200 appearances for United. It's not bad, that. There's a lot of very good players who didn't get that far because they were shit.
Remember Wanfield?
Yeah.
It was a great game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it he sent Balotelli flying and Balotelli lost his head? Yeah, look, it was one of those. I think as well, he got some criticism is deserved, but also he got blamed for a lot of things that just weren't on him.
And also his thing of the face he pulls when he's running or when he's making a tackle.
Like the Aguero meme.
Yeah, and all
then
that stuff.
City fans chanting, you sign Phil Jones, we sign Aguero. Yeah, those were the choices.
We've got Phil Jones playing up front for us for the last 10 years.
It just became a thing where he got over-exaggerated and he became a figure of fun. So yeah, we don't need to rewrite history and pretend he was Brian Robson, but he was a decent player and I'm glad to see him sticking up for himself. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure if you're not doing, you are hitting like, share and subscribe. We're going to be back tomorrow with the news in the morning. Then we're going to have Off the Bar with me, him, McCullough, Howson. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that. Go and check out Joseph as well on the Sloppy Joes podcast. You know where to find that. You know where to find me as well. That's been Joe Smith. Always a pleasure. Never
Thank you very much.
Big shout out
to
Ethan with the puns there as well.
Good stuff tonight.
And we'll see you on the next one.